In this video, I want to break down the keys to designing the worst and most terrible agency business possible. Why would we want to do that, you might ask? Well, Charlie Munger believed in inverted thinking. So inverted thinking is one of the best ways to solve a problem, in his opinion. And so rather than thinking about how we would build an amazing business that we love, let's ask ourselves, how could I guarantee that I have a terrible business that I hate and sucks the soul out of life? You know, one where you work all the time, you have clients that you hate, you work so much that you never get to see your family, your friends, or have time for any sort of hobbies, that you're unhealthy and absolutely miserable. Now, if you don't know who I am, my name is Greg Hickman. I'm the founder of Alt Agency, and we help agency owners, freelancers, and consultants productize their service and monetize their expertise. Now, I make these videos because I see a lot of service providers that have built themselves a trap, and I just want to do what I can to help people build a more profitable and sustainable business that they love, that lets them provide abundantly for their family and themselves. So let's dive into the 11 keys that will guarantee you have a terrible agency business. Key number 1 is that you take on every single client that comes across your desk, whether you can actually help them or not, because they have a pulse and they're willing to give you some amount of money. You know, like if you're a website designer and they want you to do Facebook ads, perfect. Great client for you. Or let's say you do brand identity for chiropractors and you get the manufacturing company that comes along and they want your help. Totally can do it. They need the exact same thing. Of course, you're capable of handling that. Why not? Key number 2 is to offer up a wide variety of services. Heck, even if you don't know how to do it and you don't have the skill to deliver it, go find someone that you can pay all of the money that the client just gave you to do it and be left with nothing. Key number 3 is to solve really multifaceted problems that require a lot of executional complexity. You know, the ones where it's going to take 3 to 5 years for the client to actually see some sort of result of the work that you've been doing. And in the meantime, you need to go try to find and wrangle up tons of different experts on things that you know nothing about just to figure out how to get this project done. And you're managing a ton of really smart people that have their own schedules because they have their own clients. But, you know, in 3 to 5 years, you'll get there. Key number 4 is to take on all responsibility for the client's success, whether it's actually inside or outside of your agency's control. You know, if you're responsible for generating leads and their sales team is horrible and they can't close them, that's obviously your fault. Key number 5 is to treat all client problems as problems that you are now required to solve. So while you might be the logo designer and they need leads, well, why don't you go figure out how to hop into Facebook Ads Manager and become their media buyer? Because that makes a ton of sense. It's totally inside your wheelhouse. And you know what? You don't even need to charge them for it because you just want to make sure that they come back when they need their next logo. Key number 6 is having no way to pre-vet clients so that you only work with the right ones, the ones that you can actually help. Because if you don't pre-vet them, you'll work with anybody. And I mean, you're capable of helping anybody with anything, right? Key number 7, have 0 ways to attract ideal clients. You know, just sit there and every day when you need new business, you cross your fingers and hope and pray that someone that seems like a good fit for what you actually want to be doing, the type of work that you love, is going to come your way. Just, you know, you don't need a way to get leads or clients. They're going to just show up. Key number 8 is to set 0 expectations with your clients on how you do the work and what the working hours are and how and when you'll be communicating about the progress and anything related to the work. Because it totally makes sense for them to be calling your personal cell phone number on the weekend during your kid's soccer game. Now, key number 9 is to have no minimum level of engagement. If the client doesn't have the $20K that you normally charge, why not just do the same work for $2K? Because they're going to go somewhere else, right? You might as well get that sale. Key number 10 is to let clients change the scope of work and the deliverables midway through the project so that you have to start from scratch. And guess what? You don't even ask to charge more and or to renegotiate the terms. Key number 11 is to take something that should be a one-off project like a website and let's turn it into a subscription that they can pay for over 12 months. Even though we won't be profitable until month 10, they'll probably leave by month 6, you know, because monthly recurring revenue is king, right? Now, all joking aside, on the flip side, if you want to design a horrible and terrible business, those are the ways to guarantee it. So if we flip that on its head, we don't take every client. We have a clear ideal client profile that we know we can help, that we want to help, that we're capable of getting results for, and that we actually enjoy working with. 2, we don't offer up every single service. We offer key services that are aligned with our talents and skills that solve a specific problem for that specific person we want to help. It's not multifaceted. It's very specific, so much so that it can be systematic and repeatable for each and every client that we serve. And instead of taking all responsibility for all things the client needs, we actually have standards and hold our ground and have expectations for what we do and what we don't do and what is in control and what is not in control. Now, that doesn't give you permission to not try to help the client grow, but if your service relies on them and or another party to do their job, you need to set clear expectations with your client as to how your part of the process is going to be measured. And whatever your area of expertise is, you need to stay focused on that as much as possible and help your client understand what are the problems that you're actually capable of solving and not take on the problems of other vendors or things that are completely outside of your control. You also probably want to have a way to identify who might be a good fit and who might be a bad fit early on in the sales process so that you're not wasting your time talking to unqualified prospects. And instead of hoping and praying and relying on only word of mouth and referrals, which are inconsistent, while they're great and amazing, it's inconsistent and can't be repeatable all of the time. You need to have a way to go get your ideal clients coming to you, whether that's through organic marketing, partnerships, or paid advertising. We need to have a way to attract the ideal person that we want to help so that we have leads and sales calls coming in each and every day and week so that we can be getting clients every single month. And instead of no expectations, we want to actually choreograph our onboarding experience, let our clients know how the work is going to get done, when we communicate, at what frequency, on what platform, so that they feel taken care of and they don't just reach out to us whenever on whatever platform at whatever hour because we have no standards. So you get to dictate the rules and let your client know how you're going to move them through the process and get them to the result that you actually promised them. Next, having some sort of minimum level of engagement is really important because you need to be able to draw the line and not take clients that are under a certain dollar value, because depending upon what your service is, it's going to be really difficult to make that profitable and do it in a way that doesn't eat up your capacity to take on more of your ideal clients that are willing to pay more. And instead of letting your clients change scope and not charge them, set rules for what happens if scope of work changes, or better yet, productize your service so that the scope is clearly defined and they're buying into that scope from the beginning of the project. And lastly, instead of trying to turn everything into a subscription or a recurring fee just because you want more stability in revenue, look at projects that are one-off and try to collect as much of that money up front as possible, and things that are actually recurring, that are consumables that need to happen each and every month, whether that's support, coaching, strategy, ongoing specific deliverables. Make sure that the things that are tied to recurring revenue and MRR are actually recurring, that you didn't incur all of those expenses in month 1 and then you get paid for them in month 12. Set the standard on your pricing and your terms so that you're not getting taken advantage of and you can remain profitable and have healthy cash flow yourself. Now, I know this was semi-joking, but I see so many people design businesses that become traps. And these are the 11 ways that I've seen people most commonly design a trap for themselves in their business, so much so that they fall out of love with their craft and to the point where they might not even want to do their agency or business anymore. So if we focus on these things from the inverted perspective and we do the opposite, we're going to be much more likely to have a business that we love, that we enjoy waking up to each and every day. Now, if you're an experienced agency owner or consultant that has a track record for getting your clients results, I want you to go ahead and check out this video because I believe it is the best and simplest model for service providers to scale moving forward.